Hey, it's Dr. Sebastian Gonzalez from Performance Place Sports Care. Today we are going to go over a way that you can learn to get control of your injury and mentally kind of wrap your head around what types of activities are going to aggravate your condition. Or say you're getting back into training after being injured and you're a little afraid of maybe you shouldn't run hills, maybe you shouldn't lift, maybe you shouldn't do squats. This is what we call fear avoidance. It's a concept where we don't know the end results of what's going to happen when you do it, so inherently we kind of shy away from it. And it's not really a great thing to have, and when I actually work with clients here at the office, when we see that type of mentality, we suggest this type of method to them, which I'm going to show you today. So I have them write a table, which I'm going to go over with you, and it's a table on how to mentally get control of your condition. Hope this is helpful. Now, I like to have people break things into three categories first, okay? These are ones, first, what you can do. Let's just say things that don't create any pain, things that don't aggravate the condition, and so on. So things that you know that you can do. Next, we like to go with the list of things that you cannot do. So for sure. So let's just say we have a condition with a knee where we know that biking is okay. We know that we can do deadlifting and it's fine. And on the other side, we know that if we do, let's say, burpees might really aggravate it. So now we have this section in the middle where I usually ask people, well, how about box squats? And they say, you know, I have no idea. Well, would you like to try box squats today? Well, I'm not sure because it might aggravate it. Well, I'm like, well, we don't know. So the idea of this list is bringing some sanity to your exercise schedule. Or I know a lot of people that I work with, actually they have to do some type of cardiovascular fitness. They want to do some like weight training. They want to do a lot of things. And if I just take all these away from them, then they're not happy people at all. And it's really, really hard to rehab them when they're not happy, because mental outlook is a big part of it. You have to give them something. It's like a bargaining thing. So again, what you can do, what you can't do, what you're not sure. Now, the things that you can't do here, this is a good opportunity to break these things down into parts. So a burpee, let's just say, let's go down here. Let's stay up here. So burpees, we know that partly it is a jump up, it's a land, it's a squat, it's a push-up, it's a plank, and I'm sure there's some other parts I'm missing. But these are the parts of a burpee. Now, these are a lot of parts that we can break into sections. Now, I'll ask them, okay, does a plank bother you? No. Okay, let's bring this over here. Does a push-up bother you? No. Okay, over here again. Does a squat bother you? Well, we don't know. Does the landing bother you? And they might say yes, so this stays over here. Jumping, because it has the land, would bother them, or we can take them to, say, jumping onto a box and stepping down. That's a whole nother realm. We won't step into that just yet. So now we've broken this burpee into different parts. So say they're in a group setting where they're wanting to do, like someone says they have to do burpees, and they're like, no, I can't do it. I'd rather just kind of sit out. Well, they don't have to sit out. They can do parts of it. Now, breaking into this area of the unknown, it takes a little bit of courage to do so. But when you do it, you're going to find that these things, let's just say a box squat, let's just say cleans, let's just say rowing, and why don't we do let's do running at sub 7-minute mile. Let's add also 10-minute mile. So these are other parts that this person might have no idea if it hurts or not. And these things, like as we try them out, and there's possibly going to have some flare-ups, and that's totally okay. But it's all a process of weeding the things out. You might find cleans, they don't work, so they go over here. Rowing, it works, so it goes over here, and so on. Running a sub 7-minute mile, because of the intensity of the landing and the plyometric based impact on the knee, might be over here, but all of a sudden 10-minute miles are over here. Now we have all the way in the middle. We have 8, 9, We have 9:30 all the way up to 10. Where can we split these things off? So as you see, as we go through a list like this over the course of time, you're really going to figure out what you can and can't do. And the things that you can't do, we break it up. Okay? Now we might add rehab components to everything else around here, but the fact of the matter is, the number one goal here is to increase mental awareness and increase attitude. So we actually have, there are a lot of people who do get better based upon their outcome measures, what we call them. So does their range of motion improve, does their strength improve, and so on, but they don't feel like they've had successful rehab because a lot of times their attitude has a lot of things to do with it. So a lot of times we have to trick people into these parts, and this is the first step that I recommend that you do to be able to do that. So I hope this was helpful. If you have more questions for me, don't hesitate to go onto the P2 Sports Care website and submit your question on our podcast. This is obviously a great visual tool, so I couldn't do this on a podcast, but I have spoken about it before. So if you have a question on a knee injury, you have a question about, hey, my doctor said I have an MRI that says X, Y, and Z, I don't know what they mean, I feel like I'm out of control, which actually not being in control with your condition is one of the biggest parts, and I notice that every time that I have an issue, I go through this same process. I'd spend about a week just kind of sulking to myself, and I realize I need to figure out what I can and can't do. And if you've read or listened to my personal experience with an oblique strain, I went through this process myself, and it took me a lot of time to get there. So again, I hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys soon.